Hello, I am Shelley.
I'm Austin.
And we are the couple's take on life-changing experiences and how to integrate them. So today we're going to touch on a really big topic, big conversation for both you and I, and it's going to be food. So at one point I weighed 330 pounds, and actually when you and I met, I had weight loss surgery about 10 months before.
Yeah.
And then you had lost 100 pounds on your own.
About 100 pounds.
Yeah, through diet and exercise modification.
Yeah.
We met, and it was like totally different life, a lot of things. And I think that we've had a bit of a trauma bond over like food and like
probably.
food stuff. We've always loved food. We've always loved eating out. We've always loved food experiences.
We're always ahead of the curve on food too.
Yeah, we always were like, ooh, we like this cuisine or this particular item, or just like trends. I think the biggest thing was trends. Well, you used to work in food science.
Yeah.
And you would see trends that were going on that now it's like plant-based and...
Yeah, working in that 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So what kind of has happened is we've done a lot of deep inner work on individually and then together, is that our relationship to food has changed dramatically.
Yes.
To the point that when we eat like low vibe foods, like your convenience store, your fast food, you're just like really not great food for you, I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like I can no longer.
Yeah. Like that food served a purpose in a time, and don't get us wrong, I still enjoy my Diet Coke here and there, and so does Shelley.
Yeah,
I like a soda.
Yeah.
And I like the ice cream Snickers here and there, but like before I'd eat 6 bars, and now I eat 1, or I share 1, or whatever. But like the fuel we put into our body is food, but also there's that component of it where we used to emotionally eat. So we've been exploring food as fuel, and also partly hydration through plants, where we can optimize our body and our systems for our hormones and everything like that, so that we feel better. And so we've noticed when we eat better and hydrate, we feel better.
But then also our relationship with one another, not only with ourselves individually, but then with one another, is greatly improved, because then what I notice is I'm not going through like the ups and downs of the hormone disruption and regulation,
like the
crashes from eating foods that no longer agree with me. So it's having the body awareness.
Like your body is telling you what it needs. Like, can you tap into that? And honestly, that's been very challenging. I think I've been working on it about 1.5 years or so, and I'm still relearning, because there's been so many external factors of you got to eat this way and you got to eat that way and you got to do this diet. Whoa, hold up, let me figure out what works for me. So far at this moment, what's interesting is I'm realizing I'm not eating soon enough in the morning. So I'll eat. So usually I'm ready to go by 9 a.m., right? And Shelley wakes up at 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever. And in the evening, then I'm finally chilling out. Shelley goes to bed, and then my body's like, yo, you need to eat. And I'm like, oh, you're right. I've been grinding all day. I need to eat. And then I'll eat at night, and then guess what? I'm awake till 2 or 3 in the morning, and then this cycle repeats. So what I'm trying to do is explore how I eat without shaming myself. So right now I'm like, okay, I need to eat more earlier, and I like to get in my hydration like right away, water, but also I want to get more hydration from plants. So I'm trying to, when I eat my protein, I try to eat more salad, and Shelley tries to eat more protein because that works good for her with weight loss surgery, and she's been working out a lot and strength training, right? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so my whole relationship with food is definitely now for fuel. In fact, my nutrition guy that I'd been working with, he even made a really good comment to me that a client had said to him, and that, because we used to eat out a lot.
Yeah.
But now,
like every other day or something.
Yeah, but now I just wasn't feeling very good when we were eating out. Like I would just have like really big, like just dips in my energy. And I was eating what I thought was clean, chicken and salad and all that. But he pointed out, you don't know what's in the dressing. And I believe in the energetics of the people that are preparing it. I don't know where they're at. And so I just like recognized I don't really feel that great with the eating out. And so basically we've dialed back in to preparing more of our food at home, using it as fuel and no longer using it as comfort. I think that's ultimately, so what he had said was that eating out is for entertainment. And for me, that hit. I was like,
Yeah, we're like,
I did, because I had to look at myself, my level of awareness, and be like, oh my God, I am going out to eat to distract myself from doing this, distract myself from doing that, and that's okay. But I had to be.
But we were doing it a lot. Right?
Yeah, and I had to be aware, exactly, because then ultimately I wasn't feeling very good after I was eating at these places. And we just have set places that we go now, just for a variety of reasons, because our needs have changed so much. Like, we do very clean eating for the most part, but recently I've noticed when we've had a little bit of sugar at night, like, it's grounded me, where all of a sudden I'm like, it's almost like it's my wine. I'm like, okay, first off, I haven't drank in over 2 years, but there's something within the sugar and then the receptors in my body, and it just brings me into a point where it's, whoa.
Those old grooves or constructs can run pretty deep. And like Michael Pollan in the book How to Change Your Mind was like, fresh snow across all of that. But the ruts are still there. Like, you just... Now it's like you can see more of like where you could go.
But I think for us to go from being binge eaters, whether together or in secret,
bury what we wanted to say,
yeah,
or hide our emotions or our feelings or what we wanted to say with food.
So this is like really huge for both of us, to have this level of awareness and exploring it in a non-shameful way, in a way that it's, I've never liked that food. I'm not sure why I've ever eaten it, because there's some stuff that's like from my childhood, and I recognize it served me in childhood, and now I'm like, I don't need it. Like, I physically do not feel like good.
Yeah. And so being able to explore that and look at it, food as fuel.
Yes.
But let's be real, like, there's a lot of celebratory cultural things surrounding food, and like, we also like to partake in that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But we also want to recognize that food is a fuel for us and hydration, and we want to like honor that too.
And, I was gonna say, for me as a woman, realizing how much like food as fuel affects my hormones, it affects my energy, it affects just everything, and I didn't realize, like, I think a lot of me flipping out or my nervous system unregulated was due to not giving myself the right nourishment. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's like for a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
Like discussing menstrual cycle and perimenopause and cycles and syncing with your partner.
Right.
And then the fuel needed at each part of the cycle, because we've all been told kind of some lies around what kind of food you should eat as a woman, especially in light of like your cycle. Like, for example, when you're about to ovulate, you need more carbs. But we're always told, low carb diet, can't have fat. Wait, like that ebbs and flows, right?
And we've gone through a lot of cycles together where we were doing keto and low carb, and it really, what I found is that intermittent fasting is that it just really continued to create these pathways around diet culture. And then I was like following these rules, but ultimately it was like, whose rules, whose stories? And so once you and I were both able to take a step back and do the self-awareness of like how we were eating and then how it affected us right in that moment, 5 minutes and an hour later, I think that's been like so significant.
Journaling our food in a non-shame space has been amazing. You write down what you eat and right half an hour later how you felt. My neurologist told me years ago, give it a shot. And now I'm finally like, okay, I'm going to really lean into this information because my body is giving me the info. So we just wanted to introduce you. So the couples take on food as fuel and hydration. We could probably do 1,000 episodes just on this.
Goodness.
But we want to just check where you're at. Like, so if this resonates with you or someone you love or know, couple or not, share it over to them. Let's get this conversation going about reestablishing our relationship around food as fuel. Yeah. And still, let's give ourselves a break and enjoy it too, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.